Do you ever struggle with getting your curls to last? Today I'm going to show you my favourite routine for getting my curls to last as long as possible. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It has been a while since I've done a long video chatting to you guys. I'm so excited to catch up. I have a new phone and I'm actually using the back camera on my phone today, so I'm hoping this is going to be crystal clear. I'm using the back camera, which is so weird because I'm so used to using the front-facing camera and I can see myself. I did get a little clip-on mirror, so I can see myself, I can tell if I'm in frame, and using my Apple Watch, I can see if I'm in frame, but it's still weird because I can't really see myself and I'm talking directly to a camera lens instead of to myself. So hopefully it's not weird. Let me know what the quality's like, and yeah, I'd love some feedback. So I've washed my hair. I had it up in a turban towel while I got dressed and put my makeup on. Decided to put my makeup on before styling my hair today for some reason. And I'm just gonna go re-wet it so that I can style it, and let's focus on all the ways to make your wash day results last as long as possible. Okay, my hair is now dripping, soaking wet, and that for me is the very first thing. If I want my curls to be ultra long lasting, I'm looking for the most definition on wash day, and for me getting the most definition on wash day means starting with soaking wet hair. I can get great results doing damp styling, but they don't last the same. So absolutely soaking, dripping wet hair. Now the next thing is this little guy, big guy. I absolutely love Curl Keeper Original, and I feel like it's one of the most underrated curly hair products in the world. There's just not that many curly influencers online that talk about it. There's a handful, but not as many as I feel there should be, because it's just truly one of my all-time favorites. I've been using this since, what, 2019 or something like that. I've been through so many bottles of it, and it's just one of the best curl defining, curl enhancing products that I've ever come across. It has pretty much no hold, but what it does do is just clump, fight humidity, fight frizz, and just make for the best defined, long-lasting curls. I just absolutely love it. I can't say enough good about it. I do have a discount code that you can buy if like you're in Canada or the US. If you're in the UK or Europe, you can order from Naturalistic Products. I don't have a code for there, unfortunately, but I will link it in the description box. And they do sell minis, so that's a really good way to try it out. I'm also using the Curl Keeper gel today. It was a toss-up between this and the Curlsmith Invincible Volume Mousse. Those are like my two best products, this and that for hold. And they both give me real definition like on wash day, but then it lasts up to a week. So it's a really strong hold gel, I find. And don't need a huge amount. I'm just going to rake that through. And this is another reason why I want my hair to be absolutely soaking wet, is because I'm going to brush through my hair in a moment with the gel in it. And to be able to brush through my hair with gel in it, my hair needs to be really soaking. And with some gels, I may even need to add more water as I'm styling it. This one's got fairly good slip and it doesn't flash dry my hair at all, so I'm probably going to get away without adding more water. It feels good and slippy, like my hands just glide through it nicely. Like I said, what I'm looking for on wash day is probably a slightly smaller, tighter result than is my favourite hair, if that makes sense. So to have a little bit tighter, more defined, slightly less voluminous curls on day one, then when I wake up on day two, I get all the volume and the bounce. And then day 3 is great, day 4 is great, sometimes even day 5, day 6. So you're sort of sacrificing a little bit of volume on day one, but you get the longevity out of it. So you kind of get best of both worlds. You can enjoy super defined curls on day one, and then on subsequent days you can get the volume and the bounce and everything. What I've recently discovered is the front of my hair has changed texture. In fact, I'll put in a picture of how it looked a couple of years ago, and if you followed me a long time, you might remember that I always just had a swoop at the front, but now I have full-on tight ringlets. In fact, this little section of my head here is now some of my most tightly curled, which is absolutely bizarre to me, and I think maybe it's hormones. I can't think of any other reason why it would have changed like that so drastically, because that was always my loosest curling section of hair and has been my whole life since I've had my hair curly at all. So the fact it's changed, I'm delighted about. I love it. I don't want it to change back, but I've also had to sort of rethink my styling of it a little bit, and I figured out that styling that front section forward gives it its best ringlets. When we're going for longevity, sometimes it means spending a little bit more time styling on wash day. I'm all for super quick, no fuss, but I am going to use my ride or die brush, the Edge Lift Volume brush from Bouncecurl. I actually rarely go a wash day without using this these days. I can, and I still get great results, but I just love the extra definition and the smoothness of the ringlets that I get. So highly recommend this brush. Have it linked. I've got a discount code in the caption. I use it all the time, like genuinely, I'm in love with this brush. As the volume one, it's got the smaller ridges down the edge. And so what I've started doing is just sort of sectioning this front half, which is kind of like what would be my fringe bangs area and maybe a little bit thicker. And firstly, like brushing it all down, right, trying to get it right away from the root, because I noticed looking back at a video recently that it was all like bunched at the root. So I'm trying to make sure it's smooth at the root. And then from underneath, I'm brushing it like this with some tension, and give a shake and a scrunch. Now actually, as I'm doing that, I don't know if you can see, that's a little bit stringy. So I'm gonna grab my water bottle. Because as I said, with like putting my gel in before I use the brush, sometimes you do need to add a bit more water just to get that really smooth ribbon curl effect. And for the hair to be able to sort of clump itself back up again after you brush it, you want the brush to enhance the definition, not destroy it. See, look at that, what a difference. That's just gone rid of all those sort of stray hairs and frizz and any bits that weren't clumping. That is much better. Okay, so that's the front section. Oops, there goes my towel. Then the rest of my hair, I'm just going to sort of do my quick cheeks brush styling. And if you want to see a full video on that, I do have a full video as well as a short. And I'm just not sectioning, I'm just sort of picking it up, making sure I get all the hair, but without being too precious about it, and just brushing through. I'm going to brush underneath there. Now I'm going to carefully gently flip that over, and I'm going to loosen the roots so that we don't get this sort of separation between the part that I've styled forward and the rest of it. Just going to shake in at the roots a little bit. And then I'm going to scrunch. Now, I'm just going to go check this in the mirror and see how it's looking and see if I need to add some more water. I'm thinking yes, these underneath bits, slightly stringy. And if you ever get that as you're styling, just add water. And if you're scared about it taking much longer to dry, you can squeeze out some of that excess water at the end, but you're using it to help your hair reclump while you're styling it, and squeezing it out with a t-shirt or a towel at the end won't make it stringy again, it will just remove some of the water. Is that better? Yes. Now my hair would have most likely dried perfectly fine without adding that extra water, but because we're going for longevity, we're going for as much sort of smoothness and definition as we can get today. So that's why I'm sort of giving a little bit more attention to how these curls are looking wet. We're just going to keep scrunching, and at this point I'm going to add just a little bit more of that gel. I'm just going to scrunch it in, and this is going to give it that extra hold. I'm just going to make sure it's not stuck to my scalp. And there we go. That looks like it's pretty decent. And at this point I am grabbing my Bouncecurl hairspray, which I love to use on wet hair, and I'm just going to give a little spritz. It's very strong stuff. We actually have a new style of bottle which is coming in the post, and it's more of like an aerosol hairspray can, and I think that's going to make it much easier to distribute the product. It's not that new, it's just that I've had this for ages and I use it a lot, but it just lasts so long. So I'm finally getting near the end of it. So I'll be able to try out the new style bottle. So again, adding that hairspray is basically just adding another layer of a bit of extra hold to help those curls last longer. At this stage, I'm going to grab my perfect hair care towel and just not even squeeze, just sort of pat it to my head. And all that's going to do is just remove just that excess water. I don't want to squeeze because I don't want to squeeze out the product, but just almost patting it to my head. And that just removes anything that's sort of dripping wet before we go into diffusing. This portion of the video is sponsored by the lovely Leif-In, and we're going to do a comparison between the Dyson Supersonic and the Leif-In Swift. As you can see, the hairdryers look very similar and I use them the exact same way, and we're doing a split head comparison, so I'm drying one side of my head with the Dyson and one with the Leif-In. Now, some of the features, the Dyson has 3 speed settings and 4 heat settings, and the Leif-In has 2 speed settings and 3 heat settings. The Dyson has a cool shot, the Leif-In has an amazing cycling heat setting. That is my hair fully dried and fluffed, and wow, I love the results, absolutely love them. This is the side that the Leif-In dried, and as you can see, it's looking awesome. And this is the side that the Dyson dried, which you can see is also looking awesome. Basically the results of these two dryers are exactly the same. The main difference is the price, and also the Dyson gets a lot hotter than the Leif-In. So I can go fully at top heat on the Leif-In the whole time, top heat and top speed, no problem. With the Dyson, it gets really hot, so I have to turn it down. They take the same amount of time to dry my hair. They both take about 10 to 15 minutes to dry all of my hair. Both excellent. So honestly, it comes down to price and the fact that the Leif-In has that cycling heat feature, which is really, really great if you are concerned about heat on your hair. And it gives you like the benefits of the heat with shrinkage, but you're not going to hold the heat too long on your hair. So all in all, genuinely, having both, I always reach for my Leif-In. So even though I would say the results are the same, I prefer using the Leif-In. There's just some features that make it just a little bit simpler to use. And it's just an excellent, excellent dryer. So my recommendation always is the Leif-In. And there's a special offer on the Leif-In right now. I will put all the details here and also the link to the special offer in my description box. So if you're looking for a new hairdryer and diffuser, I absolutely highly recommend the Leif-In. As for the longevity of this wash day, because I've got so much definition, very little frizz, there's certain areas of my hair that I have got just a little bit of crispiness left. Like, I'm not one for leaving a cast. I find that if I leave a cast too long, it just can make my hair set a little bit wonky. I actually start to scrunch out the crunch towards the end of diffusing, and I find that helps my hair dry quicker. I get more volume, I get better curl definition and curl formation. But these curls are good and defined, and this hopefully will last me a good few days. And because the whole point of this video is curl longevity, I will check back in with you tomorrow morning and you can see how these curls have held up overnight and if it has worked. Obviously I'll be using my curl protection and I'll show you that too, so stay tuned. Good morning. Coming to you looking like some sort of elf or something, but this is the sleep protection that I chose last night. Sometimes I use this, which is known as a buff or multifunctional headwear. Sometimes I use a bonnet depending on what mood I'm in. I always have a satin pillowcase because even though my hair is covered, I prefer how it feels now because I've been doing it for so many years, and also because having something slippy like a silk or satin pillowcase helps the whatever protection I'm wearing to stay on my head. If you find that by the morning your bonnet or your buff is off your head, try with a satin pillowcase. So let's see what we've got for day 2. I also last night decided to do a pineapple with an invisible bowl like right at the front. I don't always do that, but I decided to last night. And then when you take it off, I just stretch out and it slides right off, and that will shrink back. Hot tip, if you have these and like them as I do, then after a while they do get stretched out. Just put them in a cup of boiling water and they will shrink right back to their original form. So I'm just going to give this a fluff. And let's see, again I'm using the back camera so I can't see how it's looking. I have no clue. You're seeing it before me. Right, feels nice. How does it look? So I'm just gonna let it settle while I sort of get organised and get my daughter ready for school, and then I will hopefully have time to come back and check in with you and show you how it's looking once it's settled. I was in such a rush, I did not get a chance to go back and film again, so I'm heading out. Got a really busy day and I was running so late. This is how it's looking. Oh, that was good timing as I walked into the sunlight. Can't show you the back right now, but it seems to have settled pretty well for day 2, and we'll see how it goes over the next couple of days. Day 3, and I'm gonna take my buff off with you now. I'm gonna preface this by saying that this is how you know I'm honest with you and I don't make stuff up, because this video is all about curl longevity, and I can tell by the end of yesterday's day 2, that this is not going to be the most long lasting of wash days. Even though I did all the things that make curls last longer for me, for some reason it's just not really having a good moment. I don't know how it's looking, but I have a feeling I'm going to need to refresh this today. I think, looking back at my footage, I maybe didn't use quite enough gel, and I think that might be the issue. I was out and about a lot yesterday. It's that time of year where it's just damp in the air. That might have had something to do with it, but it just feels a little bit overly soft and fluffy at the ends. In the camera here, it's actually looking not too bad. And as always, I'm going to let it settle. I'm going to walk my daughter to school. It will be damp outside, so I don't imagine it's going to hold up all that well. I might just pop it up in a pineapple on top of my head. But I will come back and let you see how it has settled and whether I need to refresh. Actually, looking in here, it's looking better than it did last night. So, who knows? I will report back. So guys, I've been out and about on my day. I've been outside. This, I've had my hair up most of the day. This is how it's looking. And I was about to start doing something. I thought, no, wait, I need to film it. So I'm actually just going to very lightly finger comb through it. And sometimes when my hair is just not quite right on maybe like day 2 or 3, a very light finger combing just helps it. It sort of breaks up any stringiness or any bits that are too clumped, and I just do that very lightly, and then now I will just let that settle. Kind of like that look, to be honest. I'll just let it settle, give it sort of half an hour to an hour, see how it settled, and if it needs it, then I'll add just a little bit of a serum or something. While I'm here, I'm just going to show you this outfit, because what's your opinion? I just got this little jumper on Vinted. I'm not really sure if it's my colour. I think it's too deep for me. It's like quite a cool green. I like the coolness of it, but I think it's maybe a bit too dark. And then I love these jeans. I got these jeans recently. Hold on. These jeans I got recently in Matalan. It's really hard to show on here. And I also got these really cute loafers from Primark of all places. But how cute are they? They're kind of patent, but they're not super shiny. They're like in between matte and patent. And it's a bit of a different look for me. I don't tend to wear such dark colours. And loafers is new for me too. What do we think? I love these jeans, like I'm already sold on these jeans, and I like the jumper. I'm just sort of curious what you think of it as an outfit. I feel like I'm trying to slightly revamp my style, and it's that time of year, the weather's changing, it's getting a little bit more autumnal, so maybe that's why. But look at my hair, by the way, just in that time that we've been talking, it's already sort of reclumped itself, and I can even just without product take my fingers and start to retwist, recurl a few curls. But I do really like doing that when my hair's just a few days old and it just isn't quite right, or perhaps it's uneven, like some bits are sitting good and some bits are not. Yeah, it works really well. So we'll see, like a few hours. got parents' evening tonight for my youngest daughter, so before we go there, if I decide to refresh at all, then I will come back and show you. So this is me in video editing mode the next day. And as you can see, I have not refreshed my hair, and this is how I've been wearing it all day today. So considering it wasn't the most great week of curls, this is day 4 and it's perfectly fine like this. And honestly, I'll tell you, I'll be completely honest with you, it did cross my mind to not bother like including the subsequent days and just end the video after wash day and like just cut out the bit about I'll check back in with you and we'll see how the longevity of this wash day lasted. But if I do that, then it feels dishonest. And on one hand, you might watch this and think, well, what does she know? Because she's talking about making curls last and it didn't work. On the other hand, what I'm hoping that you'll think is, well, that's just real life and that's having curly hair. Sometimes it just throws us a curveball and we don't know why. Hopefully that's what you'll think, but either way, I'm sharing the real honest truth of it. I still stand by what I said and what I did at the start of the video, the products I used, the techniques I used. I think I just needed to maybe use a bit more gel, and who knows what else is playing into it. Probably the change in the weather too. My hair is just adjusting a little bit to that. But anyway, thank you for being here, and yeah, I hope you have enjoyed this rather odd video.